Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Beef Up Front podcast. Today, I'm joined by Caleb Mead, defensive back at the University of New Hampshire. How you doing, Caleb?
Doing good, man. Chilling.
You've been keeping safe?
Yeah, I've been hanging in there. It's COVID.
Yeah, it's been crazy, tough on all of us. But today, I'm going to take you guys, the audience, through an interview with Caleb. Caleb plays Division I football up at University of New Hampshire in the FCS level, but they've historically kind of been one of the top teams in the FCS level. And Caleb's a defensive back there. He'll be entering his sophomore season, so we're going to kind of get into New Hampshire football and kind of what it's like up there. So just with everything going on, Caleb, and the virus and like having limitations with everything that you can do, how's it going in regards to like training, lifting, and making sure like you're eating right, that stuff that you would be doing if you were up at school still?
Right. Well, I'm lucky to have a bench press and weights in my garage and a dad that pushes me, so it hasn't been too bad for me. I know for a lot of other athletes, it's been hectic because they got nowhere to work, but I got everything I need right here at home. So
Yeah, it's definitely big. It's been hearing that from a lot of people. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and stuff where it's kind of been a lot of like the private gyms where like the trainer, they can like have like one or two guys in there at a time. They've been able to do that, but being able to do stuff at your house or in your yard or go over to the high school or whatever, that's definitely a plus. So it sounds like you've been kind of staying fit. But what have you been like in contact with like coaches and stuff regarding potentially coming back, about the season, stuff like that?
yeah, we've had some team meetings over the past few weeks. Some of the topics have obviously been about, if we're going to be playing next season or not. But right now it's looking pretty good because we should be back on campus in the fall. But worst comes to worst, I was hearing schedule shortened to like about 8 games, which means like
Okay.
no flights. But chances are we'll have
Yeah.
a full season. So
Well, that's good. How is it like up in New Hampshire with the virus? Has it been as bad as it is down here in the Philadelphia area, or it's been kind of good up there?
nah, New Hampshire's like way less populated. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been pretty clean up there.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kind of get into what it was like coming out of high school and like your recruiting here. So coming out of Upper Moreland, you were one of the greatest players in school history. So how do you feel your time at Upper Moreland helped you prepare to become a Division I football player?
Um, damn. Uh, it was real fun in Upper Moreland, honestly, in athletics, playing sports. Coach Beach definitely had a huge impact. He was all about grit, round and pound, earning your way up. Like when I got there, I wasn't just starting as a freshman. Like that wasn't me.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to play until my junior year. But yeah, not having that opportunity to start right away, I started getting with all these trainers, and I just started putting in extra work. I saw the results.
Yeah. I remember, I mean, we played together in high school where
Yeah.
when you were a freshman, you came in, you could see you had the talent, but I remember some of the times the coaches kind of pulling you to the side and make sure like you got your head on right. And
Yeah.
evidently you did do that as you grew up. I mean, it's hard to come in as a 14, 15-year-old kid and be able to play with grown men right away, but you definitely seem to have matured and kind of have taken that God-given talent you've had and made it into skills where you eventually became a Division I player. But as you said, like you didn't really start playing much till your junior year, but your senior year was a great season. Junior year, I think you were your first team all league both years. So as one of the best players in like the southeastern PA area, what was the recruiting process like for you, and what made you eventually choose to go play at New Hampshire?
The recruiting process. It's one of the most exciting times in your life because all these coaches are just showing you love. But recruiting process at Upper Moreland was kind of slow at first with Coach Beach around, and after my junior season, what I did personally is I started getting into football circles in the Philadelphia area, attending hella camps, and just getting my name out there by myself. And I feel like that's a huge reason why I started getting connections with these coaches and stuff. And then my senior year, Coach Sidlick, he's coming from Newman Goretti. He had already sent 13 guys to Division One, so big shout out to him. He definitely had a huge help getting coaches to find me.
Yeah, it was kind of that's what we see with these like smaller public schools. Kind of schools will find diamonds in the rough, and kind of you flew under the radar a bit, even after putting up some of the best numbers. Even like Sterling, who's been a starter at Westchester since his freshman year, he was under recruited as well. So we see that a lot, but eventually, if you have the talent, you're gonna get out there and make an impact somewhere. But when you were in high school, you were mainly like the star running back and like return specialist kind of. You weren't really viewed as much of a defensive player, I guess you could say, because you're kind of carrying the load on offense. So, but like you're a very athletic kid, a big time track runner and stuff. So, along with your versatility and athletic ability, they converted you into a defensive backup at New Hampshire. So what kind of was that process like? And do you miss being the primary ball carrier and return specialist kind of guy?
I definitely miss having the ball in my hands, but yeah, I don't mind playing defense. Actually, the trainer I've been working with throughout my whole high school career leading into college was a defensive back trainer. So I was just getting all my agility drills from there. So this isn't anything new to me, but I definitely do miss having the ball in my hands.
Yeah. So I know originally last season you were supposed to be redshirting, but like towards the end of the year you got some playing time. So do you still like qualify for the red shirt, or are you going to be a true sophomore next year? And what kind of happened towards the end of the year that led you to playing and burning that red shirt? I'm not exactly sure what your class is right now.
Apparently there's a new rule in the NCAA where true freshmen get to play up to 4 games before burning their red shirt. So I played in 4 games exactly, and so I get to keep my red shirt. But if I were to play that, I have a teammate that he played his 5th one and he got it burned. So I was definitely fortunate to play in those last 4 games, big games too.
But, definitely picked up a lot of experience, and then you don't even have to burn that red shirt. So
exactly,
and it kind of shows that towards the end of the season, where the games are most pivotal, and the coaches threw you in there, they got a lot of faith and confidence in you going forward, and you'll still have a full 4 years. So that's just gonna help you and help your draft stock eventually, hopefully, in regards to making the NFL or playing the CFL, something like that. It'll definitely help you get more tape out there and stuff like that. But so this past season, you guys went 6-5. So what's your outlook for the upcoming year? If there's a full season, but I mean, just still, what's the team goals looking like, and kind of with who's coming back, who left? What are we going to expect from New Hampshire football?
Well, last year our offense was really young. Like a lot of true freshmen, sophomores playing. So our offense is looking to get a lot better, and that was our weakest point last year too. So our offense is going to step it up. Defense, we lost some key guys, but the corner spot's open. We got a lot of talent at my position right now. I feel like we'll be able to fill in smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
I think within the next 2 years, and a lot of people on the team think it, like we got a chance to go to the Natty. Hopefully hopefully play against North Dakota State.
Yeah, North Dakota State. I saw they got a quarterback up there, Trey Lance, his name is. He threw 30 touchdowns and no interceptions this past year, something crazy like that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so we could be seeing the next big-time FCS quarterback like Carson Wentz coming out of there, but that would be awesome to see you guys eventually get up there playing them. But speaking of big games, this year you're supposed to be traveling down to Kansas to play. Les Miles led LSU team week 1. What's that going to be like?
That game's going to be lit. Whole team's been focused on that ever since last season ended. It's all just what we've been looking forward to. Always the next game, and Les Miles versus Coach Mack. It's going to be a hell of a battle.
Yeah,
Coach Mack's just as good as Les Miles, if you ask me. But, can't wait.
Did you watch on ESPN, like they had that show Miles to Go? Did you watch that at all?
Nah.
It was all about like Les Miles, like first year as the LSU coach and kind of how they're trying to turn around that program. But it was really cool to see like the beginning of the year, like people were excited and they kind of had some bumps in the road. But by the end of the year, they were like filling that stadium up, and it's a Big 12 school. I mean, they haven't been a great football school, but still that's a major FBS level opponent, and that'll be definitely a cool experience. And you'll be able to probably play against some NFL caliber players down there too.
Yeah, for sure. Nah,
So
I'm definitely excited for that game.
yeah. So when I was doing like some more research about New Hampshire football, I kind of noticed that Ryan Day, the current head coach for Ohio State, and Chip Kelly as well, who we know, big time college coach in the NFL as well. They're both alumni and played at University of New Hampshire for the football team. So are they ever kind of like talked about throughout the program as like legends and kind of living up to their legacy?
Oh yeah, definitely talked about throughout the program. We've actually had talks with Ryan Day before. He's been in Zoom meetings. Chip Kelly's another guy that coach will bring up sometimes. Also, some rumors about Chip Kelly maybe coming back after this UCLA contract's up.
Oh,
yes, sir. But yeah, we'll see about that. But yeah, definitely talked about in the program a lot. You know, they set a good example for how UNH plays.
yeah, Ryan Day has kind of taken over for Urban Meyer and kind of had a seamless transition up there at Ohio State. So, and like you're saying, he's proud to be part of the program, still talking to you guys and stuff. And I know Chip Kelly for as much as we don't like what he did in Philadelphia, he's been a very good college coach and like offensive mind. So it's kind of cool to tie both of them to your guys' program.
Yeah.
But the last question before we get into a few more fun questions is the last like real dominant year when I was looking back at some schedules and scores and stuff like that for your guys' program was in 2014 when you guys had a 12-2 season. So what do you think you and your teammates, the coaching staff, just everyone from top to bottom of that program need to do to get back to being a dominant team at the FCS level and competing for the national championship with the likes of North Dakota State, like you were saying?
We just got to grind in the off season, and that was really our main focus this past winter. Sadly, it got cut short. Really sadly, we were going hard. We were going at it, and also the return of Coach Mack. You know, a lot of people don't know he actually wasn't coaching last season. He had cancer.
Okay.
And, we had Coach Ricky Santos fill in, but Coach Matt coming in is definitely going to be a huge boost for our team's confidence and all that good stuff. But yeah.
Has he been the coach at New Hampshire for a while, or has he been kind of floating around?
He's been head coach for the last 20 seasons, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Since around 98. And he's
he
been
knows
in the playoffs 17
knows what it
times.
takes.
Oh, hell yeah.
He was the coach then back in 2014, but he's all healthy now. He'll be back on the sidelines this year.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's good. That's another thing you guys got going for you. Kind of play for him, chip on your shoulder, kind of make that comeback for him a little bit sweeter.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to do a few fun questions before we wrap this up. I just want to say thanks again for hopping on. But here we go. Here we go for these fun questions. So being from Philadelphia area, you grew up an Eagles fan. If you could get drafted by one team, though, in the NFL besides the Eagles, who would you want to play for?
Damn, I'd play for any squad. But
even the Cowboys?
I don't know. I mean, that Texas is nice. But man, I'd probably play out in LA. Why not? LA, Miami. At that point, it's about the location, I feel like.
Yeah, if you're not getting to play for your team.
Yeah.
They got that new stadium out there, too. You seen it?
Hell yeah.
It looks like a spaceship.
Vegas Raiders? Whew.
Yeah.
That's going to be
got a bunch of new things in the NFL. Let's see if they can fit in with all the Jazz and whatnot, if they can produce on the field. But who would you pick as your greatest defensive back of all time?
Greatest defensive back of all time. It's a tough question. There's a few of them. Obviously, Deion Sanders literally set the tone for how DBs play. Darrelle Revis, he's a GOAT in my book.
Revis Island.
Darrelle Revis, and I don't know, that third one's kind of a toss-up. A lot of the new DBs today are a lot better mechanically.
Yeah.
So it's definitely whoever the best DB is today.
What do you think the key is to being like a shutdown corner? I always hear it's like the footwork or being able to get guys in press coverage, but I mean opinions differ. What did they kind of teach you at New Hampshire what makes the ultimate defensive back?
It's definitely
up in there.
Yeah, you gotta be smart. That's probably the number one thing. And then definitely confidence. If you're not confident on that island, you're just gonna get burnt.
Yeah.
And also patience. So a lot of people don't know. Gotta be patient.
Yeah. You can't get I always hear I love listening to NFL draft scouts talk and stuff like that. They always say the big thing is kind of you got to put the pass play behind you. It's the same thing for every sport. Kind of basketball, you miss a 3-pointer, or baseball, you strike out. Yeah, you got to because it's just going to keep bothering you and affect your play.
Right.
But who would you rather have as your quarterback at New Hampshire, considering both of these guys are in their prime? Tom Brady or Peyton Manning?
In their prime. Shit, gotta go with Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
Gotta go with Peyton Manning. I like his attitude. I don't know. I feel like he throws a better ball than Tom Brady does.
Yeah, I've always been a Peyton guy myself. That would be. But I mean, just kind of talking how we were about some FCS guys earlier. If you were matched up with, I mean, I know Steve McNair was one of the best FCS quarterbacks. Joe Flacco, Carson Wentz, kind of. What would your feelings be about playing one of those type of guys, that kind of level?
At the college level or
in
the NFL?
In the college level. Just say North Dakota State came up to New Hampshire for a regular season game.
I'd be so ready for that.
I'm
all about competition. Ready for the challenge.
That's great.
That'd be great. I already play that.
Well, kind of talking about competition, another question I had for you. So, you're the starting quarterback. You traveled down to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, last season. Just an example, and you play, and they tell you you're locked up on Jerry Jeudy, 1-on-1 for 4 quarters. What's going through your head?
It's crazy. I actually think about that a lot. What would I do if I were to guard him? But man, I just have to give it my all. That's a different guy right there. Freaking nature.
Yeah.
But
I always think like, damn.
Yeah, I just have to give it everything I got. I might hold a little bit. But just do what it takes.
A few penalties.
Yeah, whatever can help the team win at that point, honestly.
Yeah, it's
a good guy right there.
Kind of what's his name? Coach Beach always used to teach us playing D-back. If they get past you, just tackle. It's only 15 yards. It's not the NFL, not a spot foul.
Yeah, look, boys.
All right, here's our last question before we wrap the show up for tonight. If you're playing D-back, like we said, if you could pick off one quarterback of all time, any level, college or pro, and take it to the house, who would it be?
I mean, right now it's gotta be Trey Lance.
Trey Lance?
0 interceptions, man.
Get that first one.
First one. Hell yeah. And take it to the house. Even sick.
For the national title game up in Fargo. That would be something.
That would be something.
All right. Well, I appreciate you hopping on, Caleb. This was a fun interview. Kind of get the word about some New Hampshire football out there. You got anything else you want to throw in about your program?
Man, nah. Just know that it's a good program and we're on the rise. Definitely
Sounds
see us in
good.
the Natty next few years. I promise.
All right. I'll keep your word.
That's right.
Thanks again, everyone, for listening. Thanks, Caleb, for hopping on. You can check us out on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all around. Beef Up Front. You guys know what it is at this point. Thanks again, Caleb, for hopping on, and we'll talk soon.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me.